Good morning, everybody. It's time for morning manna, and this morning is all about show up, show up, show up. We're going to get into that this morning, and I just bless God for the opportunity to have an impartation in you on this morning. It's a great morning, and don't know where you are, where you live, or what have you, but it promises to be a great day weather-wise here in the St. Louis metropolitan area. And I'm glad to be here, glad to be on top of the soil, not under the soil. I hope you feel the same way. And this morning, it's all about show up. Show up. Can you show up? When I was in the military, um, and before I was a chaplain, we would have showtime. And even after that, I remember one time we had a showtime. Showtime was we were about to deploy, we were about to go out in the field, and I was controlling that craft on the Tipsy 43. It was a radar, it was mobile out in the field, all of those kinds of things. And we had a showtime. Have a showtime. I recall when Pastor Jermaine is talking to his to the worship arts department, they say they have a showtime. They have to show up at a particular time for mic checks, so on and so forth. Well, the same thing is true in life. Show up. You got a showtime. What's going to be the deal? Let's greet some people and get into the word on this morning. How about that? Good morning, Ramona. Number one, always number one. Arlene, how are you on this morning? My military friend. Buddy, how are you? Brother Nesbitt, how are you on this morning? Samara, how are you on this morning? Vicky, how are you on this morning? Yoya, how are you on this morning? It's a great morning. Gerald, how are you? Laura, how are you? And how are you on this morning? Pastor Richard, shout out to Pastor Richard. He is our pastor. He and Minister Annie doing a fantastic job in Africa. You know what? We got to pray continuously for that work, not because just of the challenges. Every ministry has challenges, but God has great things for us to do in Africa. He does. Changing Lives Ministry, He really does. Good morning, Yolanda. How are you on this morning? Pamela, how are you on this morning? My spiritual daughter was in the house, always saying, Daddy Bishop, whatever. Was in the house. Thank you for coming to worship on Sunday to be with us. That was a powerful word. That was a powerful word by Deacon Ryan. It really was. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Dawn. How are you on this morning? Elder Mobley, how are you on this morning? Patrice, how are you on this morning? Carolyn, how are you on this morning? Where's your sister this morning, Carolyn? Good morning, Vaughn. How are you? Felicia, how are you? Lydia, how are you? DK in the house on this morning. Deborah, how are you on this morning? Let me just say good morning to a couple of other folk here. Put in the chat area, show up. Show up. Good morning, Liz. How are you on this morning? Good morning, Thelma. How are you on this morning? Liz, they got some pictures of you serving this past weekend with the men. I got to send those pictures to you. Good morning, Elder Jan. Praying for you. Praying for you. Your presence is missed, but I know you're praying and you're connected. I already know. Always connected. Good morning, Valerie. How are you? Denise, how are you? Venetia, how are you on this morning? Great morning. And it is Angela in the house on this morning. Verena, how are you all on this morning? This morning. Good morning, Pastor Cook. How are you on this morning? Our VNL pastor. You're going to be hearing more about that by the end of this year. You wait and see. Just wait and see. Dawn, how are you on this morning? Thelma, how are you on this morning? I need you all to put in the chat area, show up. Show up. How about that? Show up. We're getting ready for our morning manna. On this morning, I got a word for you, an impartation I want you to grab.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Manna, where in 5 minutes or less, you're going to get an impartation with the text, the talk, and the takeaway. Join the Morning Manna fam every weekday morning at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Don't forget to put in the chat the revelation that you get and share the manna. Now, let's get ready to have some manna so you can make it through your day.
Genesis 3:9. Genesis 3:9, that's the text. But the Lord God called to the man and said to him, where are you? Where are you? Here's the context of the text before we get into the talk of the text and the takeaway of it. The context is we are in the genesis of humanity and the restoration of the earth. We're in the genesis of that, the beginning of that, all things beginning, and this is what is happening here. God has already formed man. He's given him his duty. He's had the exchange that we talked about on Sunday. He's already pulled the woman out of him, and they've had some problems. You already know what they are, but I don't want to delay and stay there. I want to raise the four questions that are being asked when God asked the question of him, where are you? In other words, first, where have you been? Second, what are you doing? Third, who have you been doing it with? And fourth, who are you? Here's what's happening. Those are the four questions for the talk of the text. God has had an ongoing, awesome relationship with Adam and Eve, and he needs them to show up. But here's what happens when God asks us to show up. He wants us to show up with our whole selves, our entire selves. If you remember, they've been hiding. Why have they been hiding? It's because of the sin that they think they're going to hide from God. When God asks you to show up, he knows that sin comes with you. That's why he sends his son, to cover you and the sin that you have committed. So when I go back to this whole thing at the very beginning about showing up, and when I was in the military, we had to show up for recall and then go to battle. We could not have any excuses. But with God, this is what he says to you. Where are you? I already know where you are. What are you doing? I already know what you've been doing. Who have you been doing it with? I already know who you've been doing it with. Here's the final question. Who are you? The same question that Satan constantly raised with Jesus in the wilderness. If you be the Son of God, who are you? When you know who you are, then there's no point in trying to hide that before God. He already knows, but he still wants you to show up. What's your takeaway? Show up and get ready to fess up. Show up and be ready to fess up because he already knows, but he's still calling you to show up. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. If this bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. Share the manna, and I'll see you tomorrow morning with more morning.